Looks like we're ready, and it is 7 o'clock, so I will call the May 21st, 2025 meeting of the Planning Commission to order. I'll ask that everyone stands so we can recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please, Brent?
Travis Baker.
Here.
Chad Banks.
Here.
Dane Drew.
Here.
Brent Emerick.
Here.
Jack Green.
Here.
Thor Hodges.
Here.
Mark Johnson.
Here.
Inford Sessler.
Here.
Joe Wolf. Here. John Woodmansey.
Here.
Great, thank you. Everyone is here. The next agenda item is the previous meeting's minutes. Everybody had a chance to look over those.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second. Jane seconded that, so we do have a motion and a second. May we go to a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Travis Baker.
Aye.
Chad Banks.
Aye.
Dane Drew.
Aye.
Brent Emerick.
Aye.
Jack Green.
Yes.
Thor Hodges.
Yes.
Mark Johnson.
Abstain.
Inford Sessler.
Aye.
Joe Wolf.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the oath to witnesses. We do ask anybody that speaks tonight up at the podium to be sworn in. Anybody can speak, but the one requirement is that we do ask that you take an oath. So our county attorney will administer that oath.
Please rise and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make before the commission tonight will be the truth? If so, state I do.
I do.
Thank you. Seeing no old business, we will move right into our new business. And the first item is number 1, 25W Subdivision 5, Brian and Heather Bauer. And I'll turn the floor over to Nathan for a staff report, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Going to the PowerPoint here. So, 25W SUBD 5 is a primary plat for the Forrest South, located approximately 8600 South, 700 East in Jefferson Township, zoned AG agricultural. What is being proposed is one lot for a new outbuilding. That outbuilding does include some potential living space, so it may possibly be defined as a residence. It's not really the intention of it, but coincidentally, because we're going through the platting process, even if it is defined as a residence, it would be on its own lot, so therefore we meet the zoning code requirements. The existing underlying tract is not compliant with zoning minimums. It was split with the intention of combining with another property, which didn't happen. And so to make it compliant, there is some additional area being added to it from the adjacent, the petitioner's adjacent overall parent tract, and then it needed to be platted as well. Also included, as usual, is dedicated right-of-way, and this is the first platted lot from the 2018 parcel, so no rezoning is required. You can see that the aforementioned zoning minimums are now met with this proposal. So highlighted in blue is the overall 2 parent tracts that this is coming from. The smaller one is on the southeast corner, and then the larger one, which the additional acreage is coming from, is the overall tract. Closer view there showing the primary parent tract, as I mentioned, the one that's in the southeastern corner. This is the proposed plat. The existing tract is this shape, and the additional area is this. And then it goes on out to 700 East. You'll note, and in the county engineer's comments that were received earlier this week, the plat currently shows the legal drain going like this, whereas the county engineer noted that it actually goes up and along the edge of the pond. So that would need to be changed prior to recordation to reflect the actual location. But you can see here how the proposed plat overlays over the existing, and the proposed structure is located approximately here. It is already permitted or could be permitted under the existing property lines, and that is because as it's under construction, it's not actually a residence. So this plat would need to be done prior to its completion in order to fully qualify it. Review comments, I'm including these because we received a few review comments like engineers a little later than we usually do to include in the packets. Number one, the recorder requested that the word the in the title should be dropped, and that is to avoid indexing duplication with lots of plats having the as being the leading word. As noted, legal drain is not correctly located on the plat, and then the county engineer also noted that in his awareness, there is a gas service line that runs along the flagstaff of that lot, of the proposed lot. So that may need to be something that is addressed during development and construction for the petitioner's awareness, although being a service line, I'm sure are aware that it is there. So going to staff's proposed conditions, number one is from the health department, the standard 2 septic sites to be determined and approved by the health department. This is near sewer, but it is not going to be close enough to be connected to sewer. That's why we're looking at septic sites. Then number two, there were some noted typos in the approval signatures that need to be corrected. Number three, as mentioned, and four, as mentioned, and five is the standard delegation of secondary plat approval to staff. And because these do include a couple additional conditions, if you make a motion based on staff's conditions, it would be these five, not what's in the written staff report. So any questions for me?
I don't hear any.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. At this time, I will open the podium up to a representative of the petitioner because I do not see the petitioner here tonight.
Good evening, board members. My name is Terry Bauer. I'm Brian's father. He's out of state on business tonight or this week, so he asked me to come. And I come in that capacity, and also my wife and I, we bought our third forever house back in November around the corner from him. I said jokingly because we had no intentions of moving, but a home became available, so you can actually see his driveway from our house. So I'm also a neighbor out there now. I really can't add much more than what he added as far as what it's going to be. A storage building is what it's going to be. Whether it ever becomes a residence, that I don't know. I don't think it's in the plans. My wife and I, we're not moving there. I guarantee you that. Basically, that's about it. I'm very familiar with the property. If you have any other questions, I take care of a lot of things out there and help them out. But and also the other neighbors to the south, we talked to them. There's no problem there from them. We haven't had any. I haven't had anyone come to me and ask any questions. I guess the word subdivision kind of concerned one of the neighbors, and I explained to them it's a parcel there. It's going to have a storage building on it, so there's no multi-home subdivision going back there. That I guarantee you that will never happen. So, any questions?
I don't think so.
Thank you, Mr. Emerick.
Thank you. This time, I'll make the podium available to anyone from the public who wants to speak for or against this petition. Okay, I will close the public comment time and turn the floor over to the Planning Commission.
Motion to approve with the staff's recommendations.
I'd second that.
Is there any further discussion?
Who was the second? Sorry.
Jack.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we need to address the 2 letters that came in from the county.
Those are going to be submitted. They're in the record, and the relevant comments I highlighted as conditions, the ones that require action. Otherwise, there are other checks in order to make sure they get taken care of. For example, a driveway permit. But thank you for reminding me.
And just to review, the motion and the second does include the 5 staff recommendations, correct?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I meant by the staff
Yes.
recommendations.
Instead of the 4. Okay. That said, I think we are ready for a roll call vote, please.
Travis Baker,
Yes.
Chad Banks.
Aye.
Dean Drew,
Aye.
Jack Green.
Aye.
Thor Hodges.
Yes.
Mark Johnson.
Yes.
Kim Kurtzessler.
Aye.
Joe Wolf.
Aye.
And Brent Emerick.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Second item on the agenda for this evening is 25W SUBD 6, Bradley and Christina Arrowsmith. And again, I'll ask Nathan for a staff report.
Thank you again, Mr. President. So going to this PowerPoint, SUBD 6 is a 1-lot subdivision as well, to be named Arrowsmith Subdivision, located on North Blue Lake Road, approximately 4850 in Smith Township. It is zoned LR Lake Residential. It is a field, but it is zoned LR Lake Residential. What is being proposed, again, is 1 lot for a new home site. It is located on and in the Blue Lake Conservancy District, so it will be on sewer. It includes dedicated right-of-way. This is the first platted lot from the 2018 parcel, so no rezoning is required. And you can see there the LR minimum sizes of 10,000 square feet, 70 foot wide, and so on, are more than exceeded by the proposal. Note that this is not, however, as large as what we typically see if it was on septic, or what would be required if this was on septic. So going to sewer does have a benefit there. Going to the aerials, highlighted there in blue is the overall parent tract. Running north and south through the middle is Blue Lake Road. This is kind of a vague location of where the plat will go. There on the northwest corner of the overall parent tract. The proposed plat, and then a little bit more illustrative of the proposed plat on the aerial. The proposed conditions, we did not get any additional comments on this one. Again, that required action. So these 2 conditions are what's from the written staff report, that the property does need to be served with public sewer in order to meet the zoning code minimums. And then number 2, the standard delegation of secondary plat. Any questions for me?
I don't hear any. Thank you, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask that the representative of the petitioner or the petitioner comes to the podium and explains your project, please.
My name is Ryan Pepler with Walker & Associates at 112 West Van Buren Street, Columbia City. We were tasked with splitting the property for a new home site for a child of Mr. and Mrs. Arrowsmith. One of the notes in the staff report, I do show a 40-foot front yard setback. That is, I was on autopilot for ag zoning, and we're actually going to move that forward to the 35 feet that is required with lake residential zoning. So I have made that change on this plat that I have in my hands, but the one that you have does show a 40-foot front yard setback. It will be adjusted to 35 if possible. And that's, Nathan caught everything that caught everything else. So I'm asking you, or any questions?
I don't hear any. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This time I'll open the podium up to anybody that wants to comment on this petition, for or against it. I don't see anybody coming forward, so I will close public comment and turn the floor over to the Planning Commission.
Motion to approve. I don't think there's any, I don't think staff had any recommendations, did you?
Yeah, I had two.
Oh, you did have two?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve with the staff's recommendations, please.
Second.
Mark seconded. Any further discussion? May we go to a roll call vote, please, Brent?
Yes, sir. Joe Wolf. Aye. Kim Sessler.
Aye.
Mark Johnson.
Aye.
Thor Hodges.
Yes.
Jack Green.
Aye.
Dane Drew.
Aye.
Chad Banks.
Aye.
Travis Baker.
Aye.
And Brent Emerick.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the third item under new business, 25W SUBD 7, Adam and Sarah Poorman. I'll turn it over to Nathan again for his staff report.
Thank you again. So going to this one. So this is a 2-lot subdivision to be named Poorman Subdivision, located at 7450 East 700 South. You probably recall this from when we saw this with the rezoning. This was recently rezoned to VC Village Commercial. There are some zoning commitments attached with that. What is being proposed is to split the property into 2 lots to place the proposed business, the proposed event center on one lot and the existing residence and outbuildings on the other lot. Both lots would, for reference, meet the AG zoning district dimensional standards for new lots, although, of course, VC is the zoning district in effect. Of note, I do mention it in there, the residence would still be a legal non-conforming use because the overall property is still, of course, village commercial. Petitioner has discussed the practicality of potentially rezoning Lot 2 in order to address that legal non-conforming status, make the residence conforming again by rezoning, but that's not being requested tonight. If the Plan Commission feels like that might be something to address with petitioner, I leave that up to you. But again, back to the plat. Notably, right-of-way is not shown. We do need to have some dedicated right-of-way, or at least right-of-way easement, to be along 700 South as part of the platting process. This is not zoned AG, so no rezoning, further rezoning is required or triggered. And even if it were zoned AG, I believe this would not trigger the need for rezoning anyway. You can see there all of the VC village commercial minimums are exceeded by the proposal. Highlighted in blue is the overall subject property and a couple of the adjacent parcels. Closer view, the proposed plat pretty much splits the property as evenly as possible, approximately 5 acres on each, although with the dedication of right-of-way, that would be reduced somewhat, 4.7 or 4.8 for Lot 1, and then Lot 2 would probably be 4.9 something. And then the plat overlaid over the aerial, so you can see that the pond would fall on both Lot 1 and Lot 2. I do have the concern, as we often do when we have shared ponds, about having some covenants be recorded, even with 2 lots. Have some covenants recorded regarding the maintenance of the pond. And in this case, I also recommend covenants because you have a commercial use as well as a residential use, making sure that there are some provisions about what's expected of both. Additionally, a reminder that petitioner did commit to connecting to public sewer. Staff suggests that the code requires a 30-foot right-of-way dedicated along 700 South. And then the last one is from the county engineer's comments that as part of the development plan review of the new event center, drainage needs to not exceed anything more than 0.16 cubic foot per second per acre. I think that's what that stands for, CFS, per acre. And that is based upon some additional language which he put into the letter, the comment letter regarding the overall drainage pattern of the tile that this feeds into. So those add into the proposed conditions. I mentioned the 30-foot right-of-way. Adding front building lines does need to be done. 40-foot setback would be appropriate. However, Village Commercial does allow for, I believe, a closer setback. So I do suggest 40, though, to be similar to the overall AG area that this is in, unless there's some other need for it. The deed of dedication text does need to be amended with some of the standard notes that we have in there. Recommend covenants and restrictions as mentioned. Any additional health department requirements, not septic because this would be connected to sewer, but any other requirements of health department would need to be met. I mentioned drainage, and then number 7, because this is still a minor plat overall, delegation of secondary plat approval to staff. So any questions for me?
Yeah, Nathan, does any of this assume that the creation of a stormwater plan?
I believe, well, drainage will be reviewed as part of the overall development plan approval that is required as part of the construction of a new commercial structure. Mm-hmm. So whether this requires a new detention area or whether the existing pond would be sufficient, how it's actually handled, that's to be determined.
Okay.
But it will be reviewed.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Nathan? Thank you, Nathan. I'll ask that the petitioner comes up to the podium at this time and please state your name and address, and then the floor is yours to tell us about this request.
Thank you. Apologies to the board for being a couple minutes tardy. I didn't take the oath of if I need to do that. I'm happy to do that.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make before the commission tonight will be the truth? If so, state I do.
I do. Thank you. Thanks again. My name is Adam Poorman. I'm here with my wife, Sarah. We're the property owners of 7450 East 700 South, as well as the petitioners for the petition this evening. Thanks again for the thorough review and for the support. And thanks to the panel for your review. I know I've met with you guys at least once or twice before, so thanks for all your help and guidance along the way. This is as stated in the staff report, a 2-lot subdivision, mainly for just kind of formally separating the two properties, since we are going to remain on site and live in the house and also operate the event venue, kind of formally structuring property lines for risk mitigation, also for financial implications related to lending for the project. So that's the intention. That's why we're doing the subdivision. That's why we're petitioning for it. I don't have anything else to add outside of what Nathan called out, but yeah, there's a thorough development plan that does discuss the drainage and water retention, and we're going to utilize the pond for that. And we also have some commitments as part of the rezoning to make sure that that we're addressing any water runoff, that there's no additional water runoff as it relates to drainage and being handled on site. So that's it. Hopefully this is a lot simpler than the other ones, but yeah, that's the reason for the petition. We're going to continue to own both lots and the residents as well as the establishment, and so we're just trying to formally create some separation of property lines for that purpose, for risk and for lending purposes. So. With that, I'll open it up to any questions. Thanks so much for the time this evening.
Any questions? I do have a question. One of the staff's criteria was about adding a 30-foot dedicated right-of-way. Is that something that you plan to do, or did that get missed? Or?
No, I'm not. I thought that they had that in our survey, but But yeah, that's part of the project. I'm not sure how, maybe they sent it, maybe they didn't have it included with what Shannon sent you, but yeah, there's supposed to be a 30-foot right of way included as part of that. So happy to put that in as a commitment.
Does this survey
necessary.
show that right away up to the road?
Let me see here. So it shows it shows a dashed line right there.
Looks like they just didn't label the line, but there it's displayed there, which is the 30-foot.
Yeah. So it needs to be called out as dedicated right-of-way, which would actually reduce the lot area slightly, because dedicated right-of-way is accepted from lot area.
Yeah.
So it's not the first time that we've had to clean up a right-of-way issue like this.
Yeah, happy to
Okay, no problem.
commit to whatever that is. Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Alrighty, I don't hear any.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. I will open up the podium to anyone that wants to speak for or against this petition. Just please remember to state your name and address.
Yes, I'm Mike DeHeimer, 5621 South 600 East, Columbia City, Indiana. I own all the farms around this property. So they rezoned it to commercial. Now we're going to rezone it to residential. So then he could put 2 houses on there, and there's nothing we can say about it because you're going to rezone it for a subdivision. So if he chooses not to build his event center, he can go ahead and put 2 houses on it. I already have one person to fight with to keep my drainage going. Now I'll have 3. So to me, it just doesn't seem, I don't understand how it can get this way. And I don't understand why Mr. Poorman didn't contact me and discuss this whole thing to begin with. So that's what I have to say. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Questions there?
Yes, I think that would be appropriate. I don't see anyone else stepping forward.
Yes, sorry about that. No, just to address that, no, we're not rezoning back to residential or agricultural. So the property is still zoned as village commercial. So from my understanding, we would not be permitted to put another residence on that property. That would need to be a commercial operation and not a house. So, and the intention is also to not rezone the second lot to residential as well. I talked with these guys about it because the guidance that we were given at the beginning was, if there's ever any thought down the road to have commercial activity on, either in your other barns or whatever on your property, then the whole property should be zoned up front that way. So that's why we did it that way under that guidance. So the direction, or at least our plan, is to not go back to residential zoning or agricultural zoning for this. So, long story short, I suppose we wouldn't be able to build another house on that property. That's not what it's for. We also identified your drain. The surveyor found your drain, and you can barely see it on the map there, but at least one of them. I don't know if there's more, but there's one that kind of goes through there that they found during their survey. So, but yeah, happy to meet with you and go find the other drain if there's another one, and make sure that it's being addressed. So, yeah, sorry. Thank you.
While you're up there, I do have one question. Staff mentioned the potential for Lot 2 being in the future rezoned back to AG. Is that something that makes sense to you, or would you be fine if that was a commitment for an approval?
I'll state that was a preliminary discussion, and it sounds like he's already opted to go a different direction. So
that's not something that you have planned?
No. I mean, when we originally went through this, the guidance was think down the road, think down in the future, 5-10 years down the road. If you ever wanted to do commercial activity out of your pre-existing structures in the back there, go for the whole property rezoning, and so that's what we did. So I would hate to rezone it back to AG, and then in a couple of years, if we want to do something out of the barns, go back. I don't want to waste your guys' time or anything like that. So no, the intention no longer is to rezone the second lot subdivision, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry. Any other clarifications from? Thank you.
Thank you. So the floor is still open to the public for comment for or against this petition. Last call. I don't see anybody coming forward, so I will close public comment and turn the floor back to the Planning Commission.
Is that with the suggested conditions then?
All the staff recommendations.
And again, the ones that I show tonight, there's an additional one that I added. So the 7 that are shown on PowerPoint. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. I will ask for a roll call vote, please.
Certainly. Joe Wolf? Aye. Kim Kurtzessler?
Aye.
Mark Johnson?
Aye.
Jack Green?
Aye.
Thor Hodges?
Yes.
Dane Drew?
Aye.
Chad Banks?
Yes.
Travis Baker?
Yes.
And Brent Emerick.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Fourth item on the agenda is 25W VAC2, Bryce, Abby, Bruce, and JoAnne Emerick. I will turn the floor over to Nathan for a staff report, please.
Thank you again, Mr. President. I'm going to this one. This is a proposed vacation of Lot 1 of Emerick Estates, located with an address of 8762 South 500 East in Jefferson Township. It is zoned AG agricultural. The 1-lot subdivision that is Emerick Estates was reported in 2021. What is being proposed is to vacate that lot in order to combine it with adjacent unplatted property, which is owned in common with another family member, actually a couple family members. That is approximately 35 acres. Adding this vacated lot into that allows the total area to be resplit into two parcels over 20 acres each, removing the necessity for platting and creating much larger parcels. So you can see there on the table the resulting new parcel size of over 20 acres, of course, meets the zoning minimum of 1.837, and lot width and frontage are also met. Going to references highlighted there in blue is the lot that is Lot 1 of Emerick Estates. And you can see that we do have Doge Acres and then Jackson Estates also there in purple to the southeast and west for further reference. Highlighted in blue are the two parcels, the proposed to be vacated Lot 1 plus the adjacent 35-ish acre piece that surrounds it. That would be combined to create those two 20-plus acre tracts. For reference, this is the Emerick Estates plat. And then finally, the proposed area to be vacated is in orange. And then a approximate version of what the two 20-acre parcels would be shown basically like this. Would be one, and the other would be approximately here. The southern parcel would not include this outbuilding, which would go with the northern parcel, but exactly where the dividing line is would be based upon where the acreages come out to be about equal. And I'm sure the petitioner can give some more details if you're interested. So this is the plat vacation criteria. As stated in the staff report, staff feels like these criteria are met. Note that the covenants that were attached, I believe they were covenants with Emerick Estates, those would not be vacated. Those would have to go through a different process to vacate those if they wished. So I won't go into this. Staff does feel like these criteria are met. However, I do still have two proposed conditions. Number one, that the dedicated right-of-way for 500 East would not be vacated, only the lot area would be vacated. And in order to make sure that the zoning code is met, that the vacated lot would be combined with the adjacent parcel to create that parcel totaling more than 20 acres. So any questions for me?
Don't hear anything, Nathan. Thank you. I'll open the podium up to the representative of the petitioner tonight to explain this project.
Ryan Pepper, Walker and Associates, 112 West Van Buren Street. So the petitioners own the 35 acres surrounding the lot number 1 in Emerick Estates. And the son and daughter-in-law own the piece that's going to be, or hope to be vacated. Once that's vacated, it'll be split approximately as Nathan shows. That building that's just directly southeast of the house, the new line will come down and around that building and head back up to the woods line approximately. So most of the woods will stay with the house to the south, and the farm ground, house, and that building will stay with the tract to the north. I do have a copy of the survey that we just completed a couple days ago that shows a better outline if you care to see it. I also have a copy of this one too, but that gives more of the detail on where that line's going to be. So this is going from a house tract and 35 acres to two roughly 20 acre pieces. Each tract is over a little bit over 20 acres.
Any questions for petitioner? Don't hear any. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will open the podium up for public comment on this petition, for or against it. I will close public comment and turn the floor back over to the commission, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the vacation of 25W vacation -2 with conditions proposed by staff.
Second. Do you have a motion and a second? Is there any further discussion? Then I'll ask for a roll call vote, please, Brent.
Travis Baker.
Aye.
Chad Banks.
Yes.
Dane Drew.
Aye.
Jack Green.
Aye.
Thor Hodges.
Yes.
Mark Johnson.
Aye.
Amy Kurt Sessler.
Aye.
Joe Wolf.
Aye.
And Brent Emerick.
Abstain. Thank you. That motion also passes unanimously with one member abstaining. The fifth item on our agenda will be continued to next month. I believe, Nathan?
Correct. 25WREZ2 for the Dunfees, which is located on 700 East, is going to be continued. They didn't get the newspaper notices in time, and so that will be continued to June 17th. A reminder that because of scheduling conflict with the Chair Busco Plan Commission meeting, it had to get bumped off because of Turtle Days. Our county plan commission meeting is going to be on a Tuesday, so Tuesday the 17th, in order to avoid that conflict. So we do have both this rezoning and I believe a couple other cases filed already. So, so there will be some additional items as well.
Great. Thank you for that. You guys have anything else before we adjourn?
Don't believe I've got any other reports to give.
Alrighty. Well, with that, the meeting stands adjourned.
All right. Good deal.